Wild style.
Almost a millennial. So Pete and Marilee got engaged last summer in June, and the night that they got engaged in the morning, but that night I was walking through a neighborhood of DC, and I just suddenly found myself immersed in this swarm of fireflies. And it was the first time I'd seen fireflies that year. In fact, it was the only time that I saw fireflies in DC last year, and I just felt that it was very, very symbolic. I mean, I felt very deeply, and I made a note to myself to talk about it right now. Love you guys. You know, it was just a very vivid moment, and I really did think there was something symbolic about it, because when you think about a swarm of fireflies, it's very spontaneous, it's very beautiful, it's very flashy, it's wonderful in this sort of literal sense. It makes you full of wonder, it's very magical, and I just felt all of these things are defining what Pete and Marilee are together. And I didn't see a firefly again until a couple days ago on the porch here. There's been a few flying around here tonight, and Pete and Marilee both remarked about how much they love fireflies, and Marilee was actually like, let's catch it and use it as a wedding decoration. But I think it's, you know, probably better in their natural state. But I just felt that in that moment they were surrounding me with this sort of warmth and spontaneity and love that was symbolic, even though it was farther, you know, even though it was far away. And then I noticed they have like the world's biggest disco ball here, which is like the mechanical version of a cloud of fireflies to walk through. Marilee, you leave a very strong first impression, and there are three things that I immediately noticed about you that I thought proved to be true and are foretelling of y'all's relationship and the type of person that you are. Man, the first one's not even emotional. Well, the first one everybody else has talked about is like the puns. Like, I gotta say, man, the puns, I don't even have to talk too much about it, because like so many of the speakers last night and tonight. But
Put up a pun to just deliver at this moment.
yeah. You know, you're extraordinarily witty. That was one of the first things I noticed about you. You're very funny, but you have this sort of, you know, hipstery wittiness, and just matches Pete so perfectly. And one of the first things I noticed was all of you guys like punning on each other's Facebook pages, and I was just like, oh.
I love it.
Oh man, it's so funny.
But it's true. If making each other laugh is a long-term key to happiness, I think you guys got that one covered. Number two, you're definitely an extrovert, and the dinghy is a good example. I was very impressed the first time we met. A lot of people would be nervous, I think, to come into our family. If you were nervous, you didn't show it at all. You were just very driven and strong, and just integrated yourself into the family in such an immediate way, which I really appreciated and I really felt was meaningful and a good sign, particularly through music, which was just terrific. I remember you singing in that first Christmas, and through the dinghy. I remember, you know, there was a lot of like, where should we go? And Marilee was like, we're going to the dinghy. And you're absolutely spectacular with kids. I think Exhibit A here.
I'm trying to get in here. Like.
Phoebe called you Aunt Marilee way too early. And I was like, she's just Marilee, maybe, hopefully. I would be remiss, coming from a half Chinese family, I'd be remiss without saying something about, in China they say 早生贵子. We hope you can, I think everybody here will be very happy to welcome a new Pete and Marilee little baby into the world, so looking forward to that. That's like every Chinese wedding, you have to say that.
Maybe tonight.
No pressure.
Wasn't the speech about passion earlier?
That was everybody's
Sorry, no fertility muffins at this. Where's Will? Will's distracted. Pete. So, what I want to say about Pete.
There you go. You got it, Jazz hands. Jazz hands.
Pete's like one of the world's all-time greatest people.
True.
You're here.
I mean, he's like the MVP of the human race. I mean, seriously, like.
You're the MVP of hyperbole, man. Chill out, bro.
If you could make that into a pun, that's.
Give him a minute.
He's such a Renaissance man. Incredibly well-rounded. I don't mean like he plays tennis and he made a sweater. He can't play tennis.
Wait a second.
He's just incredibly emotionally and intellectually well-rounded. So I was thinking about the characteristics that I wanted to highlight in Pete, and I just realized there's so many things that you can describe him with, and that's when I came up with MVP of the human race. So of course he's handsome, cool, creative, and funny. But like, there's a lot of people who are handsome, cool, creative, and funny. Handsome, this couple is like disgustingly photogenic. Has anybody noticed that? I mean, wonderfully photogenic. Like, here's another Ben Bernard beautiful shot of Pete and Marilee. He's incredibly cool. There was like, at least for 10 years after he graduated from Vassar, I got mileage out of anytime I met someone from Vassar. I'd be like, I'm Pete Wagner's brother. You're Pete Wagner's brother? That is so cool. Oh, Pete used to lead these parties around Vassar, like bury these kegs.
That wasn't me.
Oh, yeah. He took credit for that party, by the way. Other people. Alright, that's like first tier. That's like amateur adjectives. Handsome, cool, creative, and funny. How many other people do you know out there who are also just as much as those four artists? He's caring. He's brave. Some of you guys might know he risked his life to save mine 28 years ago. He's genuine. He's very astute. This is like a really, I think, a important quality. He notices things, birds, a lot. But also he notices people and insights and does the sort of, he will notice you. He's sensitive. So he cried at Obama's inauguration, pretty sure both of them. He called me about it, and he called me bawling. He's like, I just can't believe it. I'm like, I'm happy too, but like, I'm not like bawling. He cried.
I'm just thinking about it.
Oh
man, Obama.
He cried at the end of the third Star Wars movie when Anakin becomes Darth Vader.
The sixth.
And he told everybody about it. He's sensitive, but he's also very open. He's also very manly. He's extremely ethical. He's not sure that Airbnb is ethical. That's what's prevented him from. He's true. Whatever he says, he means. He's thoughtful. He has an unbelievable memory. He's an incredible writer, which is a very unexpected talent, given that he doesn't know how to type. He has a very personal connection to history. He knows a lot about history, but he feels it. And he's up for anything. He visited me in China several times. I was looking at some photos of us eating donkey burgers and Pete eating the crown of a chicken head.
You're awesome.
He flew to surprise me in China for my bachelor party, and I told all the guys that the only thing I wanted to do was go bungee jumping. And then we got to the place to go bungee jumping in China, and there was these 15-year-old kids smoking cigarettes, wrapping our legs with Velcro, and everybody else bailed, but Pete did it.
You did too, man.
Yeah, me and Pete. Not only did he flew all the way here, man.
It was above a river, man.
It's really good.
It was like rocks.
So he embodies these things. The reason I call him the MVP of the human race, because he embodies these things so fully, so much more than anyone. And it's like most people in the world have a few of those things, turned up to 6 or 7. Pete has all of those things turned up to 11. On a scale of 1 to 10. So I just feel, the world is very, Bob spoke about it, the world is full of fear and negativity and manipulation and stress. Pete is the opposite of those things. Pete is a lighthouse of everything that is good. That's the end. I'd like. May your emerging be one that is full of fireflies and disco lights and all things in between. Very fortunate to know both of you. We are all very fortunate to know you both together. Congratulations. I love you guys.
We got one more. I'm going to keep it short and simple. Wait.